Hello YouTube and Happy New Year! This is ACIoannina and you're watching an Assassinate session in Assassin's Creed 3. Yes, this is a noob lobby. I was working a lot during the holidays, so I didn't play very much, but I did manage to find some of those Christmas noobs everyone talks about. Lately, a lot of us PC players, myself included, have been speaking up against Ubisoft a lot, especially on the Ubisoft forums. However, when we do that, we often don't realize our own fails. No, I'm not talking about how we fail each other, as Coblades and Raining Stormwake have been speaking about that on their own videos, and I agree with them on those topics. All I can add to that is that using offensive smoke bomb all the time is sometimes annoying, but if you're a really good player, you will beat the offensive smokers easily. I will put annotations for their videos if you haven't already watched them. This video is about how we fail to see who is really responsible for the problems we are experiencing. I see posts on the forums saying stuff like all Ubisoft employees should be fired, or they took our money and now they sit around doing nothing, they don't even care. Do you really think there's any game designer or programmer out there, or any other Ubisoft employee, who actively wants to make our gaming experiences miserable? Most of them got into games because they are gamers themselves. And most of all, they are people who have feelings. They have lives, they have a job to do, and timetables to meet, which is something most people who spend their time complaining about the games have never had. Everyone makes mistakes, nobody's perfect. There are companies out there who are willing to spend their time making sure there are as few mistakes as possible, such as Valve. And then there are companies who care more about their timetables rather than the quality of their products. But these attitudes aren't decided by the employees. I repeat, the employees aren't the ones who make the decisions. If your boss says you have to do this in that amount of time, then what you care about is to finish it on time. And if you can't optimize it during that time, you don't. You can't, it's not possible. And if you dare to say anything to your boss, they will most definitely tell you, do you presume to tell me my job? Be careful or you'll lose your job. You are expendable after all. Of course you might say, if they can't do it while on the clock, why don't they do it on their own spare time? Don't they have pride on their work? They do have pride on their work, but they can't do it on their spare time because, first of all, this is like telling your boss you can't work fast enough, so it would be better if they hired someone else instead who pretended to be better than you. Or you show that you don't have a personal life and that they can abuse you by giving you so much work that they force you to work at home in order to complete it. In fact, that does happen a lot at Ubisoft. I know for a fact there are people at Ubisoft who have to work even while on vacation to complete their deadlines. That's how the world works, for better or worse. What I'm trying to say here is that the employees at Ubisoft aren't our enemies. They work their asses off and we can't even appreciate that. The problem is the people who make the decisions at Ubisoft, and especially its CEO. That's the people who need to change their attitudes. Making multiple threads at the forums about the same topics, or simply raging, isn't solving our problems. It's true that most of us haven't even received our DLC installers, and those who have lose the music from the single player part of the game. But raging, insulting the people who work at Ubisoft, and threatening never to buy any of their games is not the solution. One big thread about each problem is far more effective than dozens of threads that only results in other problems getting buried. If every problem had one thread with so many pages that it draws attention, that's the best. Also, Ubisoft support isn't the enemy. Tell them your problems. Keep your tickets open by updating them until the problem is solved. And be polite. They only do as they are told. By insulting them, you gain nothing. You gain no favor from them. You only make them want to help you less. We have to work together if we are to achieve anything. And we have to behave as a reasonable people, not like children. Remember, no one is willing to help you unless you help them help you, unless you show them you are willing to do what it takes to get the help you need. Of course, a lot of things have to change from the Ubisoft side as well, if they want to regain a good name. First and foremost, they need to maintain some open channels of communication. They promised to do that before the release of AC3, and then they forgot all about it. Before the PC release of Assassin's Creed 3, we had absolutely no confirmation on the contents of our digital deluxe editions. After it was released, no one officially admitted that there was a problem with the servers, and therefore they didn't admit whether they were working on it or not. Now that the first DLC got released, there are new problems. Again, not a word from Ubisoft. Of course, the forum moderators can say anything if they're not allowed to, and they received a lot of hate over that. But there is nothing they can really do. Being polite but persistent is the only way to achieve anything. Anyway, that's my opinion, that's all I had to say. Please tell me what you think on the comments below. As funny as it may sound, your opinion does matter to me, if you agree or not. And of course, don't forget to give a thumbs up and subscribe if you liked what you saw. Thank you for watching this, enjoy the rest of the match, and happy gaming. See you around.
Kill. Remaining. Seconds remaining. You have been stunned. Massacre. You have finished first.